All right, Leadership 101, here we go. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than dealing with a poor leader. And there's a lot of characteristics that define this. It can be a leader that takes no feedback, cannot handle objections. They have a good idea. Somebody has something to add of value or some kind of criticism, and they can't handle it. And generally what they do is they will only address it with like kind of a big room, right? So they will kind of state what their thoughts are, take no feedback, or two, they'll just pass out soft no's left and right. You come up and you say, hey, I was considering maybe this might be something we look at. Okay, yeah, we'll look into it. And they never get back. And the reason they want to get back is because they don't have any courage. And so for me, the three kind of main metrics that I really have tried to quantify all of my leadership career, if you will, and I've both been fortunate and had the burden of leadership since I was very young, since I was 18 years old. I got thrown into a pretty wild scenario, but luckily I had very, very high level mentors. So it worked out well for me. And so number one, first and foremost, what I learned in this young process is the number one attribute of an exceptional leader is they are a servant. There's two types of kind of manifestation when it comes to somebody of authority. There are truly leaders that are trying to bring their tribe, their pack forward. And in order to do that, you have to know what is the composition and disposition of my pack. And the other type of leader is going to be an authority manager, where people are doing what they say, not because they're inspired, not because they want to grow, not because they feel compelled. And they have to follow this vision of the leader, but because simply that person harnesses authority and they know how to manage their authority in order to force outcomes. Number one, first and foremost, is you have to be a servant. If you want to take care of your pack, if you want to care about your family that you're a leader for, you got to know what your family's about. You got to know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. No two people have identical strengths and no two people have identical weaknesses. And you have to know what those things are if you're going to bring your pack forward. Number two, unequivocally, is integrity. And integrity doesn't mean that you always do the right thing. I know that we're going to think that. It means you have the intention to do the right thing. And sometimes you're going to come up short. You're going to find yourself in a moment of selfishness. You're going to make a mistake. But how do you act when it becomes apparent to yourself of what you've done? Do you take that self-criticism? Do you take criticism from others? Can you change your mind and direct your course? And if you can, then if you're looking on a map and somebody comes up short, but you zoom out and they're continually running on the right path, then their integrity is a mean high level. And so I aim to have integrity in every decision, but I'm sure that I come up short. But whenever I'm approached from that, how am I going to react? And that really is whether I have integrity or not, right? Or my self-reflection. Hey guys, I made a mistake here. I wish I would have done this. I didn't. This is what I rather would have done. And moving forward, here's how we're going to address it. Here's how we're going to change it. That's the integrity we're looking for. And last, you can have guys that have integrity and that care about the pack. But will they stand in the fire? Will they literally be in the gap as evil, destruction, poor decisions, risk are coming as an onslaught to their tribe? They have to have courage. You have to be courageous to be an exceptional leader. It doesn't matter. There is going to be times where I have to make decisions as a leader where my entire pack will disagree. I got to be willing to face all of them and the social criticism that comes with that because I care enough and love them enough to say this is what we have to do. And then there has to be times where my entire pack is like this has to happen. And I have to be courageous enough to go against, at times, my own intuition, to trust the wisdom and the leadership that the rest of the pack has to stand against this opposition force. If you're not going to be courageous, then do not pick up the staff to lead, because if you cannot stand in the gap, then you're going to have a real problem. And this is kind of the call to action for men out there, is that our wives are asking us to lead them. They want us to be a servant. They want to know their weaknesses. And the Lord knows I've failed on this many. But this is where our integrity comes in. What do I do when it's apparent to me that I've made bad choices? And do I correct course? Do I apologize? Do I make these mistakes? And then figure out what to do next. And am I courageous enough to admit fault? Am I courageous enough to tell my wife, absolutely not, when she thinks it's something we should, and I'm positive we shouldn't? This is the kind of the metrics for me that really kind of magnify and quantify what it is that a leader is supposed to be. You guys had some great, honestly, really exceptional stuff you sent in. I'm super grateful. I was edified by it. I'll probably drop in comments all of the various things that people added because I think they were exceptional. But for me, those are the big three. Talk to you soon.